Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm just back with some more daily numerology. Today is March 5th, 2023. In our inner world, we have a 5. In our outer world, we have a 15. Okay. Now, coming out of yesterday and having a challenge or obstacle come up, and we definitely approached it from a different angle or allowed ourselves to see where we were in that obstacle challenge. Maybe we were able to change how we reacted, how we responded to deal with that obstacle and challenge. And when we did that, we did some self-reflection and then came from it from a brand new angle, it worked out better than anticipated. Or you put out something that was a healthy boundary in a kind way. And because you did it in a respectful, kind way, the outcome was much more productive, was much more loving, and the result was good. Okay? Whatever that meant. So in today's energy of the 5, coming out of that energy yesterday, which also sets the stage, that stability of being able to deal with an obstacle challenge is a foresight as things come up over the next month and couple of months. Knowing through our karmic lessons that we have closed, we're able to take it from this point, okay? I do want to also say that coming out of yesterday's energy, I'm very direct about how we've learned and we're growing and we're coming from a different angle. I just also want to put out there that we are human and we are not perfect, please. So if you feel like I'm putting energy out that's like, oh, you should have learned your lessons, you should have gone through all these karmic closes, and you're like, I didn't, don't be hard on yourself, okay? Don't do that. If everything is in a cycle, and I will remind you of that, everything's in a cycle, especially in numerology, right? And astrology as well. And you always you're always learning. So if this cycle is proving to be not as much lessons coming forth, know that in the next cycle they will, and maybe through this numerology you're aware that will come up later for you instead of now. So I don't want you to think that because maybe you haven't gone through that, or maybe the same lesson is still repeating, at least acknowledge and see the pattern, and then through the energy as we cycle through, you can kind of look at it from a different place. But don't feel that everyone is on their own path, and I just don't want people to think that I'm this is the be all end all and this is where you should be. You know what I mean? But collectively, the energy has revealed that a lot of karmic lessons have come close for a large number of people. I just don't want it to seem like, you better be here, because that's not what I'm trying to say at all. I'm just saying if you are here, this is how the energy flows, okay? Just had to add my 2 cents about that. So in this 5, okay, this 5 is about freedom and adventure. Okay, we had a 23 at the end of February, the 23rd. That was a number of large change. Okay, it really truly was, and that's not what this 5 is about on this daily today. This is about freedom and adventure, because the 5 is about change, communication, and freedom. Okay, it's the idea that we're halfway through the cycle, and we learned some things, and 5 makes it so something changes course halfway through. Or we've learned, and now we know that we can communicate effectively and change the way things are going. Okay? Which then in essence also brings a freedom. Change and communication bring freedom. We communicate the things that we need to change, we bring freedom to our lives, because the change brings the freedom. Okay? So with this freedom comes adventure. This 5 is about adventure and travel. And this adventure and travel is exciting because through the process of karmic lessons and healing, okay, this enables us to be standing in different energy and to have the passion and the drive to set out with our freedom to adventure or travel. Traveling can come in ways of mentally, meditation, astral travel, Don't just think of like 3D travel of getting in something and staying there for a long time and traveling to a destination. Not necessarily. Maybe we travel in a destination with our soul and our mind. Okay. We take that time to reflect in, which the 7 above us supports. Okay. And with this, we have the ability through that freedom to have an adventure in that travel. Okay. It really could be physically or it could be mentally. And within that, maybe a guided meditation that kind of takes you on a journey, takes you on an adventure. And as you have the freedom to explore that because of the healing that has happened, it allows you to come out of it with some sort of new sense, some sort of appreciation, some sort of way to better communicate. All of these things can come out of it. We also could be talking about physical travel. Okay? We could be talking about going outside and walking. That's traveling. And that could lead into an adventure, hiking, walking outside, walking to somewhere. And in that process, we meet some people, we learn some things, we see some things, it turns into an adventure. Or maybe we get in the car and we take a drive. And within that travel and that drive, adventure shows up somehow, some way. And the travel enables us to feel free, to feel love, and bring joy. This 5 is explaining to you and showing you that as we approach in, and it's going to reward you for coming out of yesterday and putting a stable foundation on how you react and respond to certain situations and how you communicate that. Today, the 5 rewards you by giving you the freedom to travel into an adventure that brings some sort of communication to you, acknowledgement to you, that helps you and aids you. Because your approach to how you deal with things is different and has changed. And the 5 wants to say, take an adventure, travel somewhere, somehow, in some shape or form, take the adventure. Because out of that adventure is going to come, is the freedom allows you to take the adventure. And then what comes out of that is some sort of communication and change through the 5. Okay. And then the outside, we have a 15-6, which normally the 15-6 is about like discernment, being able to decipher between one or the other. The 15 can also be about getting rid of old thought patterns to like, we kind of put those thought patterns to rest so that new thoughts can come in to kind of aid us, right? We put one idea to bed because it's time to let that idea go. This is what the 15 can be about. And then it allows for a new idea, a new understanding, a new concept to come in. And it's also about laughter. Okay, so the 15 is reflecting back on you today, this idea of adventure and travel and getting through that, through seeking that freedom for adventure and travel, you're going to get rewarded with some sort of like communication or something that comes out of it for you. And on the 15 on the outside, it's asking you to discern with yourself what is best for you in that travel situation. It's reflecting back on you to use that discernment of what's going to work best for you today. The idea that we have let ideas go. The idea of this is the future and I'm attached to it. That's an idea. The 15 is reminding you that you've let those things go. The attachment to an old way that you thought was going and allowing that to be taken away and for something new to come in because your perception has changed and allowed you to release attachment to that old idea. That's reflecting back in you to remember that you have the freedom to travel and have an adventure today because of that disattachment and a new perspective. And then with all of that, the 15 is also reflecting back on you today. Let's get out of the deepness, right? As we go into that travel, however that travel it is, let's approach it with joy. Let's approach it with laughter. Let's approach it with fun, because the adventure comes out of that energy. Maybe you decided meditation that, you'd like to, connect to a really fun, joyful, funny, happy kind of energy in that meditation, which then takes you on like a whole visual adventure and brings a lot of joy and happiness when you come out of it, which is like the reward and the communication to you of how good you feel when you have this happiness and this joy and this laughter in your life. That 15 is reflecting that back on you today as you allow yourself the freedom to travel, experience adventure. Okay? And know that as we keep going through our cycle, you will very soon see things start to really gain momentum towards those dreams coming true. I said they would come, there would be a form that would happen in this month. You would actually see it take shape because of the new beginning energy. What was just an idea, kind of, this new beginning allows it to kind of set forth on a path. And know that momentum is building, and very soon you will see more than just the form and ideas start to sprout to life. You actually see it come to fruition. I know that's soon in this energy. So I did a card pull, okay, which I do every Sunday, and it's so funny because my numerology deck, right? Master numbers are double numbers, okay? They used to be in numerology that it would just be the 11, the 22, and the 33. And we wouldn't go any further than that. And those are the three master numbers, each having its double energy in those numbers, giving the number a power to it. You know what I mean? And then as kind of going forward, as we kind of got more, especially the woman that I really like, Dusty Bunker, she has a book, Numerology in Your Future. And in that book, she covers every double digit as a master number, okay? Which I totally agree with. It's very rare in a chart. No, not in a chart, but it's very rare on like this kind of daily situation that we're going to get double digits. Like we're going to get 22s and we're going to get 11s, but like that's what we've gotten in the double digits for the daily. But in a personal numerology chart, you could get all kinds of master numbers that come up, okay? The reason I'm saying all this is because the cards that fell out today, each card is a master double digit, which tells me that what we are talking about in this reading is powerful. The idea of the travel and the adventure is powerful. It's going to have some sort of real meaning for you at the end. It's going to show you something, okay? So the first card that came out is the 11, okay? Right? And in this deck, the 11 represents individuality. Onely because the 1 is about independence and moving forward on your own. That's a lot with the 1, the magician. You are the magician. There's nobody else with you. And so it doubles that, right? That idea of being independent in your individuality. Okay? Which also, with the 11, brings illumination and enlightenment. Because we're focusing on the individual. But in today's energy and this change in adventure, I want you to remember the individual that you are. And remembering the individual that you are will help in deciding how you're going to travel and experience that adventure today. Okay? Remember, we want to stay in joy. So let's go to the parts of us that we know, or the things that bring us joy when we think about them. Think about that. And that may help you decipher what you're going to do today if you're going to mentally or physically travel to seek out some sort of adventure that aligns with your individuality. And really comes out of that today with like a really good communication message to you, as well as some laughter and joy. Okay? Then the second card we have is the 66. Now the six is a representational of love, okay? So in this energy, it's doubled. The love, harmony, balance is doubled. So what comes with that is healing. We get to we work towards harmony and balance by healing the wounds within us. Those wounds cause an imbalance within us. And so when we heal the wound, which restores back to balance. It's just like the body getting cut. You have an open wound. You're not in homeostasis, and now you've got to treat that wound. But once that wound heals, now you've returned to homeostasis. Okay? And so that's about harmony and love. And this healing is reminding you of yesterday, and knowing that through your karmic lesson healing, you are approaching life from a different place, which helps in any kind of travel and adventure today because you're coming from a different perspective. And then we have a 5 today, right? The 5 is about freedom and adventure. It really is. And so it's doubled today. So this is really highlighted, like super highlighted. It's backwards, right? But it came up. I swear it just came out. And our 5, it's doubled that today. So it's really highlighted today to seek out some sort of way to travel because you're going to experience an adventure for sure. And then the last card we have is double 8s, okay? Our 8 is about power, strength, karma cycle, and abundance. Okay. And what this is also revealing to you today is to remember that through your individuality, through the healing, and through the adventure, you get to a place where abundance shines on you in any shape or form. The abundance today could come in the form of the adventure. The abundance today could come in form of the laughter and the joy. Okay? I don't think it's necessarily talking about your finances today. I think it's talking about the abundance of your well-being, the abundance around the people around you or yourself even, and that abundance of love, joy, laughter, happiness, because you are being an individual who's healing and having the freedom to take that adventure. And abundance comes with that. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. And I wish you all the love as you decide to travel and adventure and see where that takes you today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.